thousand naira, right? They remove that 16,000 naira and pay you as interest upfront. And then the balance of 84,000, that's what they collect from you. And then at the 1 year maturity, they pay you that 100K back. I don't know if you understand. So it's a discounted instrument that federal government uses to raise funds. And it's one of the safest instruments because obviously they can't default on it because it's a federal government. If you default on things like this, it's like it's a cause for alarm kind of to the other countries and all that, because it's not just open to Nigerian investors, it's also open to outside people, foreigners, and all of those things. So when you start defaulting in things like this, as a sovereign nation or something, it kind of puts you in a bad space outside. Although it's not to say that countries have not defaulted. For example, Ghana defaulted, but they started making it back up by, trying to, give people more leverage on the other bonds that they've not defaulted on. Do you understand? So I don't know if you understand what treasury bills are now. Okay. Then we go to bonds. Bonds are very, very similar to treasury bills. The only difference is that, when I was mentioning treasury bills, I said they are discounted. For bonds, they are not discounted. Can someone remind me what I said discounted means? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Please let's clap for him now. Thank you very much. Exactly. So that's perfect answer. So this one, they don't pay you up front. Yes. This one, they pay you twice in a year, the interest. They pay the interest twice in a year. Say, for example, that 16% that I gave now. Now, if you put 100,000 in it, what they do is that every 6 months, the 16,000 you're supposed to get as interest, they slash it into two and then pay you half in 6 months, then pay you the balance at the end of the 6 months. Do you understand? So that's the difference between treasury bills and bonds. So bonds can be both in Naira and in USD. That is, it can be in our local Naira currency and it can also be in USD. Do you understand? So, but the same rule applies. So if you buy into a bond, you get your interest every 6 months. Every 6 months. But most times bonds have longer duration or longer tenor because they are for like, most times the people give them for say 1, 2, 3, 5 years. That's what the maturity on them are. But for treasury bills, you can see 90 days, you can see 180 days, and all that. You can see 1 year. But for bonds, they have longer duration. Then for commercial papers is like the treasury bills of private institutions. For example, the way I said treasury bills and bonds are issued by sovereign, although corporate people to issue bonds to raise funds as well. Then commercial paper are usually issued by institutions. For example, it can be MTN, it can be Glow, it can be any private institution. They issue commercial paper to also raise funds to meet maybe their operational needs and all of that. So commercial paper, the rates usually are higher because it's private institution and because they want you to like what's it called now, believe in their vision or their mission or whatever their operational process is. So they give you more attractive rates so that instead of giving the government that money, you come and give it to them. But most times, the people who issue the commercial papers are very important because you can't issue a commercial paper as maybe like a startup and all that. And, people don't really know your name so much. You don't have credibility outside a lot. People don't know whether this is what you do on a regular and all that, right? So if you can't, one of the major things that people look at when buying into commercial paper is how long has your business been in existence. Because you can't just have come up in a year ago and you will be issuing paper and you expect people to give you money just like that. The interest that you are going to pay them, where do you expect to get it from? Like, there are practical questions that they will ask you. But for companies like MTN, Glow, even Dangote, even all these AP, all these oil companies, whether Total and none of those things, they are easy to issue commercial because everybody knows them. And they have, like, I won't say next to nothing, but they have almost very, very low risk of defaulting because of their name, because they want to protect their name and all that. So that's what commercial papers are. Then mutual funds. Mutual funds are the ones that maybe the people in our sets do. Mutual funds also give you rates, but the difference between mutual funds and doing fixed deposits is that mutual funds allows you to be flexible with your investment. For example, fixed deposit is, I have 100,000 that I want to fix for the next 1 year. And nothing is going to happen. You can't touch that money. You can't do anything with that money for the next 1 year. And fixed deposit gives you your interest at the end of your 1 year, not beginning, not middle. It gives you at the end of that 1 year. So, but for mutual funds are slightly more flexible because they are like a pool of resources. For example, an asset management firm comes and it says, "Oh, I have a service to render to the public, and the service is that people can bring their 10,000, 5,000, 50,000, 100,000, bring all of them together, and I would buy into, say, treasury bills or bonds for them." Why is because most times treasury bills have like a minimum threshold that you can do with the government, because obviously it's government funds. So they have like a minimum. I think the minimum is around 50 million. But banks do this thing where they will now say, "Okay, everybody bring your 5 naira, 10 naira, 15 naira, bring everything together." When the whole thing is like 50 million, we'll go and buy into that treasury bills. Do you understand? So that's what mutual funds is. Mutual funds is basically pool of resources to buy into one financial instrument or the other. It could be these treasury bills, it could be bonds, it could also be equities. But equities are for people who have more information about the equities markets because it's very volatile. It can go up, it can come down at any time. So that's what mutual funds are. Do we understand what mutual funds are? Good. So I've mentioned fixed deposits and I've mentioned what equities are, right? And these instruments are what allow your money to work for you, rather than just keeping your money in a bank account that does not even, add value, or they don't even give you, even if it's 1 naira, they won't give you on it to say, "Oh, get something extra on your money." In conclusion, I think I've explained the why behind wealth. Building wealth is not just to be comfortable, it's so that you are not a warehouse of resources. You are also a distribution center, even to your family, to your friends, to your neighborhood, to your community at large, even to your nation at large. And that's why you build wealth. So the goal is to become so financially stable that you don't start asking for urgent 2K every other time, and you don't have you don't start doing, I don't have money, or I collected salary today and in the next 30 days the salary is gone. And so there's a rule I have that I maybe could work. I call it the 70-20-10 rule. You can, as somebody that is already an adult that has responsibility, you can live on 70% of your money, of your income, of whatever you gain, you can live on it. 20% you can say, "Okay, let me save and invest." Of course, 10% is for your tithes and all that. But 70% you can live on it, and then 20% you can say, "Let me put this 20% in mutual funds." At the end of the month, even if it's money for light, or money for something for the entire month. You've made it. And so you're not eating into the already extra money that you're trying to, like that, you even have extra money to add more to what you are saving. So, and the more you add more, the more your interest. The more your interest, the more things you can easily do without stretching yourself over and over and over again. Yes, so I think that's so fine. Before I close, I would also like to say that, I mean, I know that I've already explained to some extent what financial instruments are, but if you still have questions, you can always still, if you don't check online, you can always, maybe I'll drop my number, you can always text me or chat me and say, oh, I have a question about this, about all of that. I hope we have learned something this morning.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, if where does the land, if we have to do land banking, where does it fall in this instrument, land banking?
Land banking.
Yes.
So it depends on the land itself. Let me
All this thing I'm seeing here is for people who are big men and who are the young ones, who are, because we have here, we have many of our people who are traders here, and they look at instruments now. All these ones are grammar. Before they fill form, even to go and fill form, to go and, because all of them now you have to fill form.
Yes.
Fill form, everything, fill form. So they don't want to fill form. They don't know how to fill form. They are on
but they have to, because that's your evidence of.
What can a local trader do without filling forms? Without this filling form, and without sending people from all your offices to come and be helping us to fill form? Because some of you will help us fill form. You put another person's account there, and we won't know, because some of us didn't go to school now. What do we do?
For alternative, if you don't want to fill form, there are fintech apps that you can use.
Somebody no one fill form. You say fintech. They don't
have Android.
Many people have this smartphone here. They don't use the smart part of it. They only use phone.
They just but that would only allow you to just save your money. It won't allow you to invest your money. So if you do because to invest your money, you actually have to do some certain things to invest.
No, hold on, no, madam. What I'm saying, land banking is not saving your money. It's an investment.
Okay, like buying assets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Buying land.
Okay, yeah, of course you can buy land, but you still need documentation for land.
Oh, no. The documentation, I'm not the one that will continue to fill form. I won't fill NIN. I buy land from somebody, and they help me to say, this is your paper. Abi?
Yes.
They will ask me for my name. Abi?
Yes.
And I will now tell them. They will now give me receipts. They will help me to do C of O.
Yes.
I won't need to fill form.
Yes. You can actually do that. You can get assets that appreciate over time. That you don't really have to fill form or go to the bank for, like land, like he mentioned. It could be land depending on the area. It could be lands. There are some areas that maybe they don't look like they've developed now, but you don't even know that. That's like an investment for you, because once you buy into those lands, in the nearest future, development start coming to that area, and then the land appreciates over time. So that's land, the value that grows on land as an asset. So you can buy into land. Don't really have to think of the environment. You just have to look at, okay, what are the prospects in this. Just that's all. You can buy into lands and all that, and over time it can appreciate. And we know how land appreciates, especially in Nigeria here. So yes, you can also do that. Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, my own is not on land. It's on the Treasury bill, bond, mutual, insure, all that. Now this is the question.
Sure.
The rate of Treasury bill, that is the interest rate, will go up or will come down. Whether it's a fact, I don't know. I just need to be clear. If the government is buoyant at a particular point in time, then the government is not coming to market to borrow money. At that point, the rate will go down. But where the government is not, is looking for money, the rate will be higher. Is that correct?
Well,
or just?
no, not necessarily.
Okay.
So what basically influences interest rates? One of the things that influences interest rates is inflation. So, and then the government supply of money. Sometimes the government would like to mop up funds from the economy. Not like they are not buoyant. They just want to mop up funds. In order to reduce that liquidity in circulation, they increase interest rates so that people will bring all that money to them. Do you understand? So that's one of the things that changes interest rates up. And the other thing is inflation. Maybe they are trying to reduce or trying to match. Sometimes, our inflation is very, very
Fluid.
exactly. So if they are trying to match or push your purchasing power to increase to even by slightly the percentage that inflation increased, they also try to increase interest rate. Just it's not always much. It's just usually maybe 0.5% or 0.25%. Just very slightly margin like that. So those are the things that, yeah.
I just want to ask a question, and because that's one of the things that has been discouraging some people into treasury bills. I know once you go to your bank, you ask them, they'll give you the rates, and then based on that rate, they can assist you in some of this documentation. You ask them, what's the rate? They show you, and they just give you a small form that can help you, So you see the difference. But so my issue now is the issue of this tax. So I know somebody who did treasury bills, and she had seen the percentage and all, but at the time she would be paid, a certain withhold tax was now, debited again from that. So that was, in fact, it was a really big issue. She was like, I know, so how do you now factor that? Or, thank you.
Withholding tax as statutory, whatever you gain, every capital gain, you must pay a withholding tax on it. Every capital gain, you must pay a 10% withholding tax, so whether in Naira or in US, it's a must. Even as companies pay as high as 25%, depending on how much their income is over the year. So what you can do is, you can't negotiate a net interest rate, or net withholding tax rather, on treasury bills, because you must pay it. What you can check is, most times what banks do is that, even that interest rate that they give you on that treasury bills, they already factor in their own spread. So for example, that 16% that I mentioned, they can give you treasury bills at 14 or 13. It means the balance spread on it is for them. So what you can do is just compare interest rates from banks. If you want to do with banks, just compare the one that this one is offering to the one that one is offering, so that you go for the highest one, such that you already know that there's no way you will not still make a certain amount on it over the tenure or over the period that you're going to give that money. Do you understand? So there's no easy way out of withholding tax. You must pay it. It's a must. Yes.
Any other question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. I want to ask a question on, the other ways of creating wealth is all these things they were marketing to us in the circulation, like forever living. All these things that they say when you enter their products, you'll be going into steps. You're having steps. You are growing. I want to ask: is it a good way of investing? Is it a good investment? Then the second question, ma, is like this one falls under commercial papers. When you want to invest on somebody's in a company. Now, like I did one some years ago, and the result was very bad. I don't know whether you know about Chimac. Chimac is one big company like that. They have their headquarters in Enugu. I did all my feasibility studies. I checked and all that. They are into a lot of things. They are into food, restaurants. They are into Uber. They do a lot of things. So I did an investment with them. The margin was a bit okay, but it's not that it's obvious like that. So, and I got, they'll be giving, I did it for 6 months. And at the end of 6 months, I'll get my money back. They give me return on investment monthly. I got it first month, second month, third month. At the fourth month, the whole world just scattered, and that was end of it till today. They said they will pay, they will do this, they will do that. So how do we know the particular company to invest that you'll be safe and your money will be safe?
Okay, thank you very much. For your first question, personally, I do not believe in affiliate marketing, except it's the digital products you're selling. Maybe all these ebooks and all that. Even then, I still don't believe in it. Because GNLD, you will walk and walk, long reach, it's almost like you are trekking the entirety of Lagos to make peanuts. It doesn't make any sense to me. And there are some that, even if you do, the stage that you move to, from one stage, it can take you years. You've wasted your time, you've wasted your energy, you've wasted your resources, your money over time. On what? Nothing. So I really do not advise affiliate market at all. Like I mentioned, except it's digital product. Why I said except it's digital product is because you are not leaving your house. Maybe all you have to do is on your phone or something, or maybe you just have to push out products or advertise things for them on your status or maybe Facebook and all that. That's all. But if it's already going to bring one person, bring 5 people, let this one person buy, it's not even feasible. Even both in the short term and in the long, it's not feasible.
It's actually MMM in another form.
Exactly.
That's just the
Yes.
truth. Going for that affiliate marketing, I think it's not actually an investment. It's just you are working for money.
Yeah.
And the money will not come. What we are saying is this: we have money, instead of putting it in the bank, it's sleeping in the bank. What we are saying is that let it sleep somewhere where it's working for you as you sleep.
Exactly, not you.
You understand? It's just like when I said land banking, you put the land there, and I give example. Somebody called me from Akwa Ibom, my staff. He used to be my staff, and he's a friend. And he told me, Oga, come and buy land there. This coastal road now, that in fact land now is, people are just buying land around that area now. So if you invest in that land, and there is no way you invest in the land, for example, the land is an investment I know is very, very viable. If fire burn your land, it will enhance its value. You understand? If fire burn any other something, it will decrease the value. But if it burns your land, you just tell them, you don't even need to clear it. It's already cleared. So instead of paying 1 million, pay 2 million. Okay? So I think what that one you are talking about, you have to, because if you don't bring people, you won't move to the next level, depending on the people. The vehicle they are giving you is for your sweat. That vehicle they are giving you, you are going to still pay for it indirectly. So it's your sweat. So that is not investment. I only said land banking. There are other things you can actually do to put your money. But here, all these instruments, you can actually forget it there. Okay? And you just see that maybe by December, you will hear either alert or alarm. Eh? Alarm is an alert in multiple form. 1 million naira is still for some people alert. But when it's coming to 100, you just hear bang. Okay, that's alarm. Okay. The last question. Sorry, the last.
The second question. So for commercial papers, if you remember when I was talking about it, I told you that only businesses that they already have a reputation over time. If you don't have a reputation over time, I'm not going to buy into your commercial, no matter what the English you're speaking. If you are not someone that have seen your work over time, that you've redeemed, that people have given you money in the past 5 years, and you've given them back with interest, I'm not going to enter it. So one of the major factors that you can check before you put your money in commercial papers is reputation, the company's reputation. Like it says a lot, even if you can't read their financial statements. As far as you can see their reputation over time, you would know that, okay, this is a safe company.
Thank you. I hope you are not transmitting. Eh? Are you transmitting? Are you transmitting? No. No. Are you transmitting? Please stop it now. Just stop for 1 minute. Just stop it for 1 minute now. 1 minute. Tell me where you have stopped it.